Hello, hello. All right, here we go. So we're going to do this drawing here in AutoCAD over here. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that you turn on this little button right down here. If you hover over that, it's ISO draft. You can click on that, and then you press F4 to cycle is it F5? F5 to cycle back and forth around on the cursor, okay? So first we're going to draw this little section right here, and we need to switch the cursor so it's looking at the face here, so that would be F5 looking at this, so this is ice plane left. And we're going to start with the ellipse tool. So if you look in right here, the radius for this first circle right here is 18, so I'm going to type EL for ellipse, I for isometric, press enter, and I'm just going to click any old place on the screen, and I'm going to type 18. All right, and now I'm going to do the outer circle next. So I'm going to press enter. It enters the last command that you did. So the last command was isometric ellipse. So you can just press enter and redo that. And I'm going to click right in the middle of this ellipse right here where the cursor is. And I'm going to type, actually, let's just do that again. I press escape, EL, enter, I, enter, click in the middle of this. And we're going to do 32 as the radius of the big circle here. So right there, now we need to cut this section in half. I'm only looking at one part of the drawing at a time. So first I was looking at this circle, now I'm looking at this circle. I'm literally not paying attention to anything else on this drawing at all, just this next circle. The next thing we do is cut this in half. So I'm going to use the line tool, L, enter the line. So if you hover over one of these ellipse edges, you will see the center of the radius here. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to draw a line at 30 degrees this way. What is it? 32. So I'm just going to type 32, shift and less than 30 degrees. That will take me to the edge of the circle right here. And now I'm going to click right here on this line again, in the middle of this ellipse, if I can get this right. Sometimes, man, come on. All right, here we go. Line tool, click here. And now we're going to go down this way at 32, shift less than. This direction going this way is 210. All right, come on, screen. There we go. All right, so the next thing I want to do is TR, is trim off this bottom part, trim off this. So I'm going to press TR and enter twice, 1, 2. And I'm going to click and drag these two parts right here. All right, if you look at this drawing over here, we have a line that disappears back into here. So that is an angle of 150 degrees. So I'm just going to activate the line tool. I'm going to click in this corner right here. Come on. And I'm going to draw a line, as you see, that locks in there at 150 degrees. Trim that off, enter. Enter. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do, I swear I keep doing that. I keep getting this mixed up with 3ds Max. All right, now I'm going to use the line tool, and I'm going to use this information that I have here to get into the middle of this drawing. But first, I'm going to go from this corner to this edge down here, so that's 32, 32. So if you see here, this line indicates that it's 32 units from this point on this drawing to get into the center of this, and the center of this back is another 32, and then we have 20 back here. So I'm going to start right here, line tool, click here, and I'm going to type 32 and 32, so 64, shift and less than 150. I swear I did the same thing again. All right, now I'm going to use the line tool, and now using the drawing, the measurements right here, I'm going to go from this point 40 this way, then I'm going to go 32 this way, then I'm going to go 22 up. Here's the 22, here's the 32, and here's the 40. So first, I'm going to go 40 this way, so 40, shift less than 210. Now I'm going to go back 32, shift less than 150. Now I'm going to go up 22, shift less than 90, and now I'm going to enter the ellipse, which right here, the big one first, and then the small one. The big one first is 15, the small one, the diameter is 12. That's what the circle with a line through it means. Diameter, half of that is 6, so the big one's 15, small one's 6. So I need to switch my cursor to a top view, so I'm going to press F5. Now I'm going to press EL, enter, I, enter, and I'm going to click on this right here, and I'm going to type first 15, and I'm going to press EL, enter, I, enter, click in here, 6, next. And now since I have the same exact thing on this side of the drawing, which is 40, 40 over, I'm going to, at this point, start from the bottom of this drawing and go over 80. So I'm going to type 80, shift less than 150, that would be 30 degrees. enter, and now I'm going to select this and all this right here, and I'm going to right click, choose copy selection, copy this selection, zoom in over here and move it, and I have that copied. Now I can press escape to get out of that. Now what I need to do is get rid of this line because that's in the way. And let's see, I'm going to do this part of the drawing next. So I'm going to press LI for the line tool, and I need a smooth transition on this ellipse here. So I'm going to intersect this ellipse. So I'm going to type 35, shift less than 180. I'm going to press enter, escape, TR, enter, enter twice, and I'm going to trim off this section right here. I'm going to press escape, press L for line, and I'm going to click on the line tool right here, and I'm going to click this. I'm going to go down 270 degrees at 22 units, so 22, shift less than 270, enter. And now I need to transition from this section right over here, right? Is that true? No, right over here. Okay, so I'm going to do the line tool here, and this would be 330 degrees. So 330 degrees, I'll type, let's say that is 15 at 330, enter there, and I'm going to go 22 at 270 now. And I'm going to copy this ellipse. So left click it first, right click, choose copy selection. I'm going to copy it from the middle and then click on the bottom down here. Okay, now I'm going to press escape, press TR, enter, enter. And I'm going to trim this out. And I'm going to trim this stuff out of the middle that I do not need. Stuff out here, right here, right here. I don't need this anymore. Don't need any of this. Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need any of this. Okay, I might have needed that. Do I need that? No. No, I don't need that. I definitely don't need that. Okay, so using the line tool, I'm going to transition at 30 degrees this way right here. So LI, I'm just going to type, let's say 13, shift less than 30, escape, press TR, enter, enter, and I'm going to trim out this right here, and this is the point at which we go up. But first we need to transition from this section right here, so I guess I did need that line again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to intersect right there. And now I can just copy this section of line right here. Left click it, right click, choose copy selection from this point, click and drag up there right here, and I can press this selection right here. I'm going to copy this shape, and I'm going to paste it right here. So I'm going to click it, right click, choose copy selection, click here, move this over. Okay, this line needs to be a little bit longer than that, so I'm going to carry this line over. I can left click it first, right click, choose copy selection, click it from this point right here, add it to right there, and I want to press TR, enter, enter, and I'm going to click and drag that out. I don't need that, and I don't need this top section anymore. I don't need any of this right here or that. So I'm done with that right there, and I need to transition this into this shape here. So what I'm going to do is use the line tool, and I'm going to come through here at 50 degrees. So it would be 15 units, shift less than 150, enter, press escape, line tool again, and now from this point right here I can just copy this line that I already have. Let it be 2 lines, so select both of these, and now I'm going to right click, and now I'm going to select this, and I'm going to copy selection from this point right here. I'm going to paste it over there. What's up, Oscar? And now I'm going to make a line right here. So from this point to this point, I'm going to connect this right here, and I'm going to press TR, enter, enter, and I'm going to trim out the stuff in the middle that I don't need, which is that, and this is the same exact thing that I'm going to do over on this side, so I'm going to do that really quick. The angles that I'm going to be using here to transition this ellipse into the bottom ellipse is going to be 0 degrees here, and that should be the only one, so I'm going to left click on this ellipse first, right click, copy selection, click in the middle of the radius, drag it to the bottom, and now I'm going to press escape. See you, Oscar. You too. And I'm going to click here, and now I'm going to drag this at 0 degrees, so it would be 15 units, shift less than 0 degrees, enter, 22, shift less than 270, down, enter. I did that wrong, though. It should be 15. Let's try that again. So right here, I'll just keep that other line there. So I'm just going to intersect it here. I don't really care what the unit is. Trim that out, TR, enter, enter, and now right click and copy this selection. I could just move it, let's say, left click, right click, move from this top point to here. Okay, and now TR, enter, enter, and I'm going to trim this out, and I'm going to trim this stuff out because I don't need that. I don't need any of this. That's good there. I don't need any more of this. Nothing of this is probably going to show anymore except for this side over here. So this angle is going to be 150. So in the middle of this line right here, my mouse should lock into an angle, but it's not. So I'm just going to do, let's say 22, shift less than 150, enter, LI. And now I'm going to copy this line here. It locks in, so I don't care how long it's going to be. I'm just going to go ahead and trim that later. So for now, it is right there. Oh, come on. It's not locking in. But anyways, I'm going to do, let's do 22 units at 210. and then I'm going to copy this, left click, right click, copy selection. I gotta draw this line in there. So I'll select this, left click, right click, copy selection, and then move this over here to this point, and now I can click this, left click, right click, copy selection from this point to here. Okay, and now I'm going to draw a transitional line from this object up here, so it transitions at 30 degrees this way. So from here, it would actually be 60 degrees. So the intersecting line, 44 units, shift less than 60 degrees, enter, and now I'm going to draw a line that is, let's say the distance 32, 32 is 64, so click here, click up here, 64 units, shift less than 150, enter, TR, enter, enter, and I'm going to trim all this stuff that I don't need anymore. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We're going to draw this back section here. So it's 32 units from this point right over here, and then it's 20 wide. So I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go over at 210 degrees. So I'm just going to type an intersecting line, 16 units, shift less than 210, and press escape, enter, line tool, enter, and I'm going to draw this down from the bottom at 270 degrees. So let's just do 22, shift less than 270, enter. And from this point, I'm going to go 32 units at 150 degrees. So 32, shift less than 150. And now the thickness of that is 20. So 20 units, shift less than 150. The height of that, as you see in the drawing, is 66. So 66, shift less than 90. And so I'm going to come back this way. Let's see, I don't need this line anymore. Now I can just copy this line. So I'm going to copy that from the bottom point. Boom, boom, and left click, right click, copy this selection as well up to the top. So I've got that, and now the length of this is 40 plus 40 plus the radius up here from this point to that point. So this point to that point is 15. That gets you to the 40. So that's 40 this way, 40 this way. So far that's 80 plus 15 is 95 plus another 15 over here is 110. So at this point right here, you're going to start right here. You're going to click on this. So I'm going to type in 110, shift less than 30 degrees, enter, and I'm going to copy this section over here, over there. So I'm going to select that, left click, right click, copy selection, click, clack. Okay, I can delete this line in the middle. So TR, enter, enter, shift that, get rid of this stuff over here, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this stuff here, press escape. Okay, so now what do I need to do? Is I need to connect these back two lines. So really quick, I'll connect this, and then I'm going to go and draw the circle at the top. So I know from this point right here, this right here says it's 100 units up, and the length to this wall back here where this ellipse starts is 32 and 32. So at this point, I'm going to go up 100. I'm going to come back this way, 32, 32, which is 64. And if you notice right here, this ellipse is 10 units off of the face of this wall. So if 32 and 32 is 64, minus 10 is 54. I'm just going to go ahead, use the line tool, start in this line right here. I'm going to go 100, shift less than 90 degrees, and now I'm going to go 54 at 150 degrees. And now I'm going to type that ellipse. So the outer ellipse is 22 radius. That's the diameter divided by 2 is 22. This radius right here, the smaller one inside, is 12. So I'm out here. I'm going to press F5 and change it to a right isometric plane. I'm going to press EL, enter, I, enter. Click right here on the end, and I'm going to type 22, enter. I'm going to press escape, press EL, enter, I, enter. Click in the middle of this ellipse, type 12 and enter. And now I'm just going to do the transitional lines. So the length of this top is 40. So I know that coming off this way is 60 degrees, so I'm going to type in just an intersecting 30, shift less than 60 degrees right here, and from this point, LI, L, enter, and now I'm going to type 40 from this point right here. So I type 40, shift less than 150, enter. Okay, that's where the end of that ellipse is going to go. So I'm going to left click, right click, copy selection from this point here, and then copy it there. And now I need to transition this side right down here. So it's coming down this way. A straight line from here all the way down here is 180 plus 210. It should be 210. Is that 210? My mind just went blank. Let's say 33, shift less than 210. 180. Right there. All right, LI, line tool. Now I'm going to go back 40, so I'm going to type 40, shift less than 150, enter. Okay, now I'm going to trim out the stuff that I don't need right here. I don't need this anymore. Delete that, delete this. I don't need that anymore. I don't need this anymore. Delete that. Okay, I'm going to, do I need any of that? Okay, so coming from this point right here, I'm going to go 150. 150 right here, intersecting line is going to give me this section of line right here. So from this point right here, I'm going to go back 10. So from here, I'm going to go back at 10 units, shift less than 150 is where I'm going to connect this line right here. So now I'm going to left click, right click, copy selection to let's say the length of that is 10. So down here, I'm going to undo what I just did, use the line tool. I'm going to go 10 units, shift less than 150, and now I'm going to select this line right here. Left click, right click, copy selection. I'm going to copy it to this point right here, and now at the top, using the line tool, I can connect this to that. Okay, now I can delete this, and I can trim stuff out. TR, enter, enter. Start copying this, cutting this stuff out. Whoops, I need that there, I think. I'll come back and clean that up. Okay, so far, I swear. I'll trim this out, don't need this, don't need it through here or here. Don't need any of this through here. Trim that out. All right, so far so good. Okay, so what I need to do right here with this line right here, I think I did this a little wrong. I'm going to go right there, intersecting. So that should be a line of 64 units at 150 degrees. I just went ahead and locked it into the isometric snap. Okay, this point right here is where we copy this line right here. So I'm going to left click that, copy this selection here, put it right over here. Bam, and then TR, enter, enter. Huh, what happened? That did not intersect. Something is wrong here. Let's see, maybe it's just not long enough. Oh, it never intersected. Why did that not intersect? Let's check. Click here in the middle. I'm going to draw a line that intersects, so I'm going to do 48, shift less than 60 degrees. And from this point right here, I'm going to go back. That's right. Should be 64, shift less than 150. That's why I did the wrong line. How did I do that? Delete that. Okay, using the line tool, I'm going to connect this to that, and now I'm going to copy this. So left click first, right click, and I'm just going to move it from this point to that point right there. And now I'm going to trim this up over here. TR, enter, enter. Trim that off, trim this off, and trim that off. Press escape. Okay, so now I need to get rid of this. And let's see up here. So this point, I need to go over from this point. If this was 150 up this way, then this has to be 30 this way. So I'll go, no, it must be 60 this way, over that way. So I'm going 30 this way. So I'm going to do an intersecting line to get the second transition of this section on the right side. So I'm going to type in biggity, 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 biggity. Let's say 55, shift less than 30 degrees. That's way too long. Now, that would be wrong if that's 30 degrees. Is that 30 degrees? Should be 30 degrees. 60 degrees. 30 degrees over 90 degrees. That would be 50, 40. It would be 40 degrees from here. So we're going to go 40 degrees. So I'm going to do 30. I'm going to do 35, shift left than 40, shift less than 40. Is that right? We'll see. Now we'll go back 10 units from here. So we'll go back 10 units at 150, and then I'll connect this. That's right. All right. So TR, enter, enter, and I'll trim out the stuff that I don't need now. Okay, now what do we not need? So here I need to copy this, so I'm going to left click, right click, copy selection. Actually, I still need this line here. So coming through at 150. Okay, now I need to copy this, left click, right click, and I'm going to copy this selection over here, copy this here. Okay, and now I'm going to trim out, so TR, enter, enter, get rid of this and that, and down here, get rid of that, and get rid of this, and now get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that. Okay, now I have to put in the section at the top after we get rid of TR, enter, enter. Oh, whoops. Let's leave that there for now. For some reason that's screwing up, but I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, now I'm going to put in this section here, and I believe that is everything. Alright, so we know that this lines up from the middle of this section to the middle of this section. So all I'm going to do first is create the middle of these lines. So I'm going to lock in here, intersecting line here. Using the line tool, I'm going to go from this section here and lock in, let's say 30 intersecting lines, shift less than 270. And now I'm going to use the line tool, and I'm going to connect this line to that line. So bam to bam, and now I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. And now the length of this is 10, but I'm in the middle. So if I'm in the middle of 10, that would be 5. So I'm going to have to go 5 to the left, 5 to the right. So using the line tool, from this point, let's just go up. Let's go up. I don't know the angle of that, so I'm not going to do that. Let's just do it the easy way. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go over 5 at 30 degrees. And then from this point, I'm going to go 10, shift less than 210. So now I'll copy this line. So I'm going to left click, right click, copy from this point here, and I'm going to zoom in and copy it to the edges of the lines that I just created. And then zooming up just so it intersects through here. And now I'm going to click this right here. I'm going to delete that, TR, enter, enter. I'm going to trim away this, trim away that, trim away the sections up here that I didn't want to keep. And now I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom, because if you look, it still needs to be trimmed off. So I don't know what that angle is, so I'm just going to left click, right click, copy this selection from the top point down to the bottom, and now I'm going to delete this middle line, and I'm going to TR, enter, enter. Get rid of this, get rid of all this in here, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, and then all this. And that should be it. Oh yeah, we got to put this in here. So let's put in that line now. Alright, so using the line tool, I'm going to figure out how to get to that point. So I need to be right here, and I know that from this point it's 44 up, and then I need to get to this wall to get 35 this way. And the diameter is 15, so the radius is 7.5. So I'm going to start in this corner with a line tool. I'm going to go up. It says 44, so 44, shift less than 90. And I need to put in the wall back here too. I forgot all about that. This line down here needs to go over. So let's do that first. And this should be 64 at 150, so 64, shift less than 150. That goes here, and this just connects at 90 degrees. So I'm going to type, let's say 52, 52, shift less than 90. Press TR, enter, enter, and trim out the stuff that I don't need. Okay, so I'm at this point here. And now I just need to connect to this wall. So it looks like its intersecting line is 54, shift less than 30, press escape, enter, TR, enter, enter. Get rid of this line right here, and then from this point I can go 35 this way and then 15 in the middle. So 35, ellipse, 7.5. So from this line here, bam, I'm going 35, shift less than 210, press escape, E, L, enter, I, enter, click, 7.5, enter, escape, done with the video.